Hi golfers, David Reckless from Absolute Golf. Today I'd like to talk to you about the golf club and how the loft affects the height, also the direction of your shot, as well as the lie angle of the club. So there's lots of things to consider here. We want to just show you, and I've built this little golf club for us. It's actually a 1-iron on the bottom and a wedge on the top. That's so you can actually see the different lofts of the golf club. And the loft is obviously, as you can see, 1-iron being about 18-19 degrees of loft, and the wedge here being around 50 degrees to 55 degrees. So you can actually see the loft. And if I put these golf clubs in the holes I've provided, you'll actually see the loft of the club in action. And we'll do this side on so you can see it. So if I rest the golf club flat on its sole, okay, on the ground, you can see the wedge will go a lot higher than the 1-iron. Now the ball will actually go a little higher than these shafts indicate because of backspin. So the 1-iron will create a lot less backspin than the wedge will. Okay? So backspin makes the ball fly in the sky. So with a 1-iron we'd probably expect, say, 3,000 or 4,000 revs per minute, and with the wedge somewhere like 10,000 revs per minute with the same golf swing. So the loft of the golf club gives the ball its elevation due to backspin and hitting the ball correctly. Now, if I turn around and point the golf clubs at my target in the distance, the golf club should hit the ground like this, and you can see both balls will go dead straight. If I keep the club face square and change the lie angle, so club face nice and square, if I change the lie angle of the club, now the club is still square. And this is what, unfortunately, the launch monitors can't measure, is the lie angle of the golf club at impact. We're looking at what the club looks like. So it can be perfectly square, but send your ball to the right. And as you can see, even the loft affects that. You notice the 1-iron doesn't go as far to the right as the wedge does. That's because of the loft on the club. Now if I actually keep the club face square and make the more upright lie angle, you'll actually see again, now the ball's going off to my left. Club face is square, but lie angle is too upright. The wedge actually goes further left than the 1-iron as well, which is quite interesting. So if I'm playing on a shot on a hill where the ball's above my feet, you'll notice here that the wedge will make the ball go further left than the 1-iron does because of the loft on the club face. Now we see lots of people playing shots around the greens with an open club face. Now if I open that club face, you'll notice the wedge actually doesn't go as far right as what the 1-iron does. So a lot of people are worried when they open the club face that the ball's going to go off to the right. Now when you're playing a flop shot or a more lofted shot to make the ball go a little higher and shorter, you won't get that. The reason for that is because of the lie angle affecting the loft. Okay, so open club face, I've made the club more upright, which is cancelling out with the loft, the ball won't go as far to the right. Now I show a lot of people a really good trick in how to use chip shots and lob shots and bunker shots with a closed club face. And a lot of people think the closed club face will send the ball off to the left. Well, with a less lofted golf club, I'd agree. But with a more lofted golf club, you can actually see the ball's going a little straighter. Okay? So the loft affects the height, but it also affects the direction. So if you've got a driver, there's a tendency for that ball to slice. If you've got a 9-iron, there's a tendency for that ball to hook because of the loft on the club. That's how the loft will influence the height of the shot and the direction of the shot. So don't be fooled into believing that this shot will go left with a wedge, because as you can see, it's not. It's changing the lie angle, which is affecting the loft of the club as well. The lie angle being flatter and the club face being more closed is going to make the ball go straight with a wedge, but left with a 1-iron. So it's really important that if you're having a lesson and the person that's teaching you is using a launch monitor, it's really important that your lie angles are correct to give you correct readings. Okay? Launch monitors are great tools. They give us lots of information, but they don't give us all the information. So be aware and make sure you ask someone who knows. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on how the loft affects your direction and the lie angle affects your direction, and we'll talk to you soon.